another video review. And this time we're going to be taking a look at something a little bit different. We're going to be taking a look at the knockoff, or as I'll refer to them more than likely throughout the rest of this video as the KO versions of Henkei Ghost Starscream, Henkei Skywarp, and Henkei Thundercracker. Now first thing I will say is buyer beware, because these things are very, very real looking. I unfortunately do not have the original versions of any of these figures, so I can't compare them to those original figures. So I'm relying on you, the viewer, to be able to look at these and be able to leave me comments and leave other people comments mentioning the differences. As you can see, I got the package versions because I wanted to look at exactly what was going to be offered to people. These things are so nicely done. One thing I do think, I don't think the backs actually were colored, but these things are so nicely done that they could very easily be put on eBay and sold as originals and really rip people off. That's the biggest fear with these figures. If you're buying them knowing that they are knockoffs or KOs, then I have no problem with it. These were supplied to me by KO Toys, where they are listed as knockoff figures. And if you are interested in picking these up at a much reduced cost, go ahead and check out KO Toys, because these really do look fantastic. I've seen reviews now on the Starscream and the Thundercracker, and both of them could easily pass as authentics. These figures here could go for $100 to $130 a piece. This one, I don't even know how much that one goes for, but it's a Ghost Starscream, so it's got to at least be $100. So you're looking at easily $300, maybe $400 worth of figures right here, but in knockoff version. Buying them for the knockoff price is gonna cost you less than $100 for all three of these. So as I said, if you buy them knowing that they're knockoffs, that's one thing. But these things are so good that you really do have to educate yourself. Now starting with Thundercracker, you can see you got the nice kind of like a blue, almost like a negative image kind of the figure himself. I mean, and they're getting brave. Transformers with the actual Transformer logo. If you look at the top here, it even says Takara Tomy. So they're getting really brave with these packagings. Flip it around here on the back, and as I said, you have a colored version. I don't think they're actually colored. I could be mistaken, but again, somebody let me know. You flip it around here on the bottom, and you got all the different characters and stuff of Chinese or Japanese. I'm not entirely sure what that is. And then you got the phone number here. I wonder what would happen if you actually called that phone number. So there's the packaging here for Thundercracker, and you can see that he does come with this card in there. So that's actually pretty nice. Now taking a look at Skywarp. Skywarp originally was only available in a 2-pack with Ultra Magnus. He gave people the opportunity to be able to get the Skywarp figure without having to get Ultra Magnus, which is pretty nice. Again, nice packaging on it. You have a black negative. I'm calling it a negative. I don't know if that's actually what it is. But again, you look at the top and it says Takara Tomy right up on the top there. Destron, which is what the Decepticons are. Transformers, Decepticon logo, a whole bunch of white fuzzy stuff on the inside there. It's like snow. And then again, colored images here of the back. Not entirely sure if that's how it actually is. And then you flip around here on the bottom. Same type of stuff. Then we come to the Ghost Starscream, and this is actually the very first Ghost Starscream that I've ever owned, and I really actually like the way it looks. It's really kind of cool. Same type of packaging here, but you got the different color. I mean, they all have different colors, as you can see. This is a lighter, this is a little bit dark, and that's kind of a gray scale. Doesn't say Destron on the top, but it does have the Takara Tomy, and then the whole clearish kind of blue color Transformers there on the side. You got the card there in the background. Flip it around here on the back, and this matches, and you can see they really do look almost identical. They're just different color variations. And actually, this is different. I don't speak this language, but you know, there's different things written on here. And obviously, this has just a whole bunch of characters, and there's actual pictures on the back of this one. So the packaging is very well done. Very well done on these figures. Almost to the point where, like I said, you really need to educate yourself on these. If you're on eBay looking for these figures, if it's too good to be true, if it looks too good to be true, chances are it probably is. Because like I said, you can pick these up at KO Toy for I think like $26. If you see an offer for these for $50, you know that you're probably actually going to be getting a KO. So it's tough, but you need to educate yourself. And these are nice alternatives if they're sold to you as knockoffs. So actually, let's get these guys open and see how good the actual plastic quality is on these knockoff figures. As I said in the beginning part of this video, buyers beware. The quality on these, obviously not Takara level. But if you're not an expert in telling the difference, you're gonna get screwed. These things are fantastically recreated all the way down. They come with their instructions, and again, I don't think the original instructions had any kind of coloring on here. But here are the instructions, as you can see. And like I said, I don't think they had color in the initial ones. I could be wrong, but it's recreated down to this little insert, which is the TakaraTomiFans.com website, where you put this in and then you can win something. They actually include this as well, which is amazing. They all do come with their collector cards. That one's actually kind of hard to see, but this one is for Thundercracker. It's a little sloppy, but not too bad. If you can kind of tell there's some paint splotches there, but there's the card itself. Now, like I said, this is for Thundercracker. This one is for Starscream. Flip it around here on the back. I find it funny that Thundercracker has a higher rating than the Ghost Starscream. Maybe Starscream loses some of his power. And then the third and final one is Skywarp, who's got a 63. Very high. Again, I don't know, but all of these look to have the same kind of paint mess up or print error on the same corners, so that's one kind of giveaway, but you can't really tell from the front. I mean, you have 1985 to 2008 Tomy, 85 to 2008 Tomy. So here are the cards, and from the front, they look like the legit things. I'm sure that the original ones don't have the printing error, but they're also a nice cardboard. So overall, fairly nice cards. Figures themselves, starting with Thundercracker, very good build on here. It's almost as if they've recreated every particular part of this and then assembled them. I know that sounds weird, but he's got heft to him. He really feels like an authentic figure. Really nice. The only thing that really doesn't have the same kind of feel are the missile launchers. These, and it doesn't really fire all that well, but these feel a little bit more flimsy and loose, I suppose, than the original ones. And I'm basing it off of, this is the Starscream one. Get rid of that. I mean, this just, you can kind of see that it fits together a little bit better. That's a different arm, but you can see that that fits inside there a little bit better as opposed to this one, which has space in it. I guess that's one of the big differences, but I mean, even these still feel pretty good. It's a thicker plastic, or it's a thinner plastic. I don't know if you can hear that difference, but there is a difference in that. There's a difference in the overall feel, but this is a fantastic replacement or alternative to the originals, and vastly cheaper. Vastly cheaper. One other kind of thing that I noticed is the little nipple wheels are a little bit looser in this. I don't know if that's just normal or what, but really nice Thundercracker. Ghost Starscream. Now again, I don't have original versions of any of these. These are it for me. Really cool looking. I really love the way that looks. Really nice translucent coloring. Even down here on the missile launchers, those are translucent as well. Really cool. Love the way this guy looks. All of them have the same, and I don't know if this is the Henkei thing, but all of them have this kind of greenish chrome thruster thing here on the back. So I don't know entirely if that's what that's all about. And of course, Skywarp has the same color greenish thing here. Yeah, pegs in there. I mean, it doesn't look as shiny as I remember seeing some of them, but again, nice replacement. Loose nipple wheels. That's just a funny nipple wheels. And maybe the little fake wheels here on the back here aren't as big as they should be. They seem kind of small, but overall good quality on these. And if you don't have, like I said, I never got these two. That one I never really had much of an interest in, to be honest. But these two complete my Seeker collection. I now have all the Seekers. I have Starscream, Thundercracker, Skywarp, and all the Coneheads. And at a fraction of the cost. So let's get these guys in their robot mode and see how those stack up. Okay, now here you have the original Seekers in their robot mode. And now we start seeing some of the problems that a knockoff will have. Not being done to the specifications of Takara or Hasbro, there are some big problems that I do have with this. These weapons are not as tight as I was really kind of hoping, but that's not all that bad because the actual releases of these didn't really stay in. I mean, that one kind of stays in. You could probably put a little super glue on there, and because that this is a knockoff, I don't mind super gluing it quite as much. You also see a little bit of a sloppy paint job right there. Taking these off, he doesn't seem to want to come together quite as well at the chest, leaving this kind of a gap here. So that's kind of unfortunate. Thundercracker here is probably the best of the three that I have. And that's one thing that you do have to be aware of. When you're buying a knockoff, they don't go through the same quality controls that the actual authentics do. So you're going to get some problems. But this one is probably the best of the three that I have. Not too terribly bad. And again, I don't know all the differences in terms of the various paint applications or whatever. But you can see them there. I do really like the face on them. They all kind of have different looks, and I like that. Very nice. This kind of seems a little bit loose. That's not too bad. I keep messing with it. So there is the one and the only Thundercracker. Starscream is a little bit more of a mess. Again, everything's flying all over the place. This doesn't stay in. Neither does that one, as you can see. Also, I really can't. There's actually a little bit of extra plastic here. This is supposed to fold in. Accordion in, and Skywarp fell, but it doesn't really go in very well, and you can see that there is a big separation here with this one. Hopefully you can see it because he's clear, so that doesn't close in all that well. That's a bit of a disappointment. But all of them have these arms that are like really kind of loose right here, so that's another unfortunate disappointment. That doesn't, I mean, I could probably shave that down, and I don't mind these too much because, like I said, less than $100 for the three of these. I can modify these and not feel so bad, so I can probably shave down that plastic and get that to really go all the way. He does not want to stand. Other than that, I mean, he's kind of got a loose wrist. I mean, I don't even know how I can actually tighten that up because that's a pin joint in there, so I'm not exactly sure how I can fix that. But the overall look isn't too bad. It definitely says Go Starscream, which is really kind of cool. I do like it. I just wish the missiles would stand a little bit better. But again, like I said, a little bit of super glue, and I can actually fix that. So that I don't mind nearly as much. Probably the worst of them is Skywarp. And you can see that whole arm is loose. And that you're just tipping them over and they're falling. So that's very loose on him. He does have some paint slop right on the side there that you can kind of see. Overall, same level of articulation that all the other Seekers have. This arm's actually really super tight, whereas this one, and I mean, it's so loose that when it gets down there, it bounces back up. There's no resistance on it. But again, you can fix this up a little bit, and he doesn't seem to have really good feet. His feet don't like to... He keeps falling over, but again, it's a knockoff, so you have to keep that in mind. But this doesn't stay in at all, and it almost kind of looks like I need to screw that in tighter. And actually, it feels like it moves in, so I could probably fix that as well. But you gotta kind of position them so you can get them to stand properly. There we go. Get the other missile, plug that in, and then they just kind of rest there for right now. So the big question is, do I recommend these figures? And to be honest, I actually do. Even though that, you know, there are some problems with them, obviously. Every single one of them has something wrong with it. But it's so much of a better alternative than buying these, of the over $100 price tag for these things. And it's so very nice to finally have a Skywarp and a Thundercracker in my collection. A little bit of work, and you can make these figures actually pretty nice. So I hope this helped you guys. Like I said, buyers beware, because these are out and you can get really taken advantage of if you're not very careful and do a lot of research and homework. So I hope this helped out, and until next time, this has been Optibotimus. I'll talk to you later.